many times a week would you want someone to do this, like just before they get like used to it?
Well, so in terms of your training here, how many times a week do you guys train?
5.
Yeah, 2 to 3. So if you're doing 2 to 3 days, this is your primary, right? You don't want to do something that's going to get in the way of the primary, right? That's one reason why I always tell people if you're into, Muay Thai, or if you're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that, lifting heavy weights is not going to help you, because all it's going to do is make you really sore for what it is that you actually want to do. So for something like this, what I would probably do is anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week. What's a good way to look at is you could do, let's say you're doing 3 days a week. You could do 3 days a week of what you do here plus 3 days a week outside of here, but you can make one of those days overlap. So you could do conditioning on one day that you're here, and then do conditioning on 2 other days of conditioning outside here.
But you have to make sure that when you come into Muay Thai, you're not like outrageously sore that you're not able to do the movements. So you have to kind of gauge. As you get more conditioned through this stuff, you should be able to come in and be like, okay, my legs aren't as dead, everything like that. Because we don't want to take away from what Chris does, right? Because that's what you guys are here to enjoy. So if you leave the next day and you're sore for about 24 to 48 hours, that's not what we want. So we want you to feel like you can do stuff the next day, okay?
Yeah, I usually tell people if you're in my gym, if you're doing an unlimited membership or nominally about 5 days a week, 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off is usually a pretty good prescription for most people, but that gives you that rest period in there. But like she said, you don't want to ever do anything that's going to impact your ability to do what you want to do the next day. So,
Unless you're highly competitive, and that's a whole different story. Yeah.